Hey there guys, Arlo here. Well, it finally happened. The Muppets have returned to TV for the first time since I was just a little tyke. In case you didn't know, I am a hardcore Muppet fan, so I thought a review for the first episode was in order. Was a Muppet show repackaged for a modern and more adult audience a good idea? Or are we looking at another Muppets Tonight situation? Well, let's find out! Adopting the popular mockumentary format and delving into the personal lives of the characters, ABC's The Muppets does everything in its power to break away from the family-friendly vibe of previous iterations. The big question is, does it work? And the answer is... I think? Kind of, or at least it could. Right off the bat, you'll notice that gone is the zaniness and pizzazz that the Muppets are famous for. There's a little physical humor, but overall it's very low-key. It focuses heavily on the mundanity of everyday life. I feel like the producers probably thought this juxtaposition was funny, though at least in this episode it kind of feels like the Muppet energy we've always loved has been muzzled and sedated. I'm perfectly okay with trying new things with the characters, but this combined with the new quote-unquote adult angle makes for a bit of a double whammy of discomfort. As the creators have correctly said, the Muppets were never for kids, and have often toyed with somewhat adult themes. The problem, however, is just how far they take it here. I'm of the opinion that humor can be geared toward adults without taking the easy way out, and by that I mean jokes about drugs and sex. I'm no prude or anything, this kind of humor is absolutely everywhere else on TV. But it doesn't fit with the Muppets. Even when they're being edgy, they've always had a certain innocence about them. But when you allude pretty explicitly to them having sex and doing drugs, that innocence is pretty much gone. Humor-wise, it wasn't bad, though there's definitely room for improvement. There were a good few jokes that got chuckles out of me, though I think most of the humor was supposed to come from the two things I've already talked about. I'm hoping that after a few episodes, the show will get into the flow of things and rely less heavily on establishing the tone and premise. Some characters are fairly one-dimensional at the moment, particularly Miss Piggy, but again, that's the sort of thing that could get ironed out with more episodes. Besides the mundanity aspect, I think the format worked pretty well. The mockumentary thing might be a tad old hat by now, but it's got a lot going for it. Mainly the fact that there's finally room for all the characters that have largely been missing from the recent movies, and for new characters as well. This first episode of course focused mainly on Kermit, Piggy, and Fozzie, as anyone would expect, but I think we can be pretty confident that we're going to get time with a lot of different Muppets, and seeing the non-show related stuff that they could get into could potentially expand the characters more than even in the Jim Henson days. By the time the credits rolled, my emotions were mixed. On the one hand, there was a lot about it that I found disappointing and sometimes even disturbing. However, I think that it has a lot of potential. The feel might be something we're not used to with our Muppets, but the fact that they're exploring new things and going deeper into the characters is really exciting. I'm gonna need some time to see where the series goes, but if they iron out some kinks, I think it could be one of the best things that's ever happened to the Muppets. Here's just hoping it doesn't get canceled after 12 episodes. Oh boy, you have no idea how nerve-wracking it is to be a Muppet fan. If you've seen the show, then I'd love to hear what you thought about it. Are you a longtime fan? A newcomer? Did it meet your expectations? Let me know, and I'll catch you later with more Muppet stuff.